Okay, we're going to spend a few minutes going through the KPIs. There are 3 charts on a KPI. The top one is the production, the one in the middle is for the man hours, and the one on the bottom is the resulting chart, production over man hours. So what I've done here is trim the screen so you can see the production expectation that's loaded into the KPI. And then the green area is where you enter the actual cumulative production. So for this first period, we did 16,000 linear feet. And then down here in the labor part, it took us 300 labor hours to perform that. So what will happen is the plot line, I've got 4 weeks of production plugged in here. So the green was the plan and the blue is the actual. So you can see we expended less, we produced less production. Here's our plan, here's our actual, and then, we have a horrible week here. If you look at the man hours that we had to expend to do that work, we actually expended less man hours in the first week, but then we started adding some horsepower to it. We exceeded the man hours, and we exceeded the man hours because we're trying to catch up to our production. So we radically increased the man hours here based on the plan, but we radically caught up with our production. These lines are the cumulative lines. So the green would be the planned and the blue is the actual. So you can see that we were under our production. And then when we started increasing labor, we increased production, and the slope of these lines is important too, because the slope indicates the rate of change. So we actually caught up, and when the lines are on top of each other, that means you're pretty much right where you're supposed to be. Down here under the production expectation, we have a production expectation of 0.02 man hours per linear foot. That comes from this chart over here, which is a pure computation. You don't have to do anything to it. And then the actual is, well, it's taking me more man hours to produce the footage. Footage isn't going to change, but it's the hours per footage, so that's represented here. So even though my production's up, my labor is up at a higher rate. So the chart has some EACs, which is the forecasting part of this. So I have to make a statement as to, well, based on this production rate, I'm going to increase, see the forecast line here? I'm going to have to increase my forecasted labor rate. And then that's what this does. It tells you what you burned, what you have to go. And then that's why these lines are over each other. The original labor expectation was the green line. Now I'm making a statement that says I'm going to get the work done, and I'm going to get it done on time, but it's going to take me more labor. And the gap between these two lines is how much extra labor it's going to take. And then all these charts show you the results of all that. It's a great sheet, and you can also have percentages here. I planned on being at 11% complete. I'm actually at 17. I planned on expending 38% of my man hours, but I expended 44. So you can see that you can point to where the deltas are. Here's my planned 0.020 and my actual is 0.025. So if I can do better, if I can start to trim the man hours, get the crew right, I can possibly bring this line back down. That's why you monitor this on a week-to-week basis.